I sell access to my holes for a living, if you catch my drift, this one as well. And one time a client tried to rob me. This is a story time from my first few months within the industry, and I've never had another experience like this. And I just want to share it because I think it can be kind of educational and also very interesting. So this incident happened right when I moved into my first apartment. If you didn't know, when I started in this industry, I was out call only because I lived in a caravan, and it took me, I think, about 6 months of getting comfortable with the job and saving enough money to be able to pay my lease for the entire year, okay? And that's when I moved into that apartment. And this guy was one of the first few, maybe even the first client that I saw in that in-call space. He was a young guy, about my age, maybe a couple years older, and he claimed that he was a lawyer. However, I have no proof that he was really a lawyer, and I very much doubt that he was. So this guy arrived for his booking. I didn't really notice anything unusual. He'd paid a $200 deposit, and because he was doing an hour booking, he gave me the remaining $700 in cash. At the time, because again, I'm new to doing in-calls, I'm used to doing out-calls, I sat the $700 on my kitchen bench thinking nothing of it. I didn't think to hide it, which I know is stupid, but again, it was my first or second, maybe third ever in-call that I had taken at my place. And the guy seemed normal. It wasn't super late at night. He didn't seem dangerous. So we go into the bedroom, we do the hanky-panky, and this guy hasn't been able to finish. But keep in mind, we did not spend a lot of time yapping. He really got a lot of his hour doing the actual deed. Comes to the last 10 minutes or so of the booking, and my buzzer's gone off, and I'm like, well, that's kind of it for time. And he's like, I want to extend. Do you have anyone after me? And I said, no. How long would you like to extend for? And he says, another half an hour. And I say, perfect. And he's kind of just laying there, and I'm like, okay, but you need to transfer me or give me the other money. I'm not going to continue on without it. And he goes, no, I'll sort it out when we're done. And I just had this weird feeling, okay? And I have allowed this sort of thing to happen since then, but I had this feeling, and I remember being preached to by girls online that it's really important that you get any money, including extensions, up front. So I said, no, I'm not going to be doing the time unless I have the money. I'll grab you your phone. So that's what I did. I grabbed it off the bench, handed it to him, and asked him to beam me the rest of the money. I knew he had beamed it because he paid his deposit that way. He's playing around with the app, and he keeps telling me that the app is not working and that it must be down. But he's also not showing me his phone screen. So I have no proof that there's actually an error on Beemit, and occasionally Beemit does have these issues, right? It just won't allow you to send money. It's down for maintenance, but he wasn't showing me that. And I just felt like something was fucking off. At this point, the time is definitely up, because with all of this, me going to get the phone, the trying to transfer, him kind of saying, no, let's keep going, all of that, there probably would have been about 2 minutes left of his booking, okay? Because keep in mind, the buzzer went off 10 minutes before the end, and we've fluffed around for a bit. So I say to him, look, mate, I'm not going to be able to extend the time because you haven't been able to pay. And he says, okay, I'll go across the road and get some money out of the ATM. And there is an ATM across the road from me. And I said, sure, just send me a message when you're back in the lobby and I'll come back down and get you. So he puts his clothes back on, he doesn't shower or anything, and he goes across the road. So he's gone for 5 or 10 minutes. In that time, I have a quick rinse, and I get a message from him saying that he's back in the lobby. So I go downstairs, I get him, we go up in the lift, we're talking, we get into the room, we're at the kitchen bench again, where the money still is, because keep in mind, I never hid it, it was still sitting right there. And we're talking, and he's kind of trying to get back to the room, the bedroom, and I'm sort of standing in front of him, and I'm like, oh, did you get that money? Can I have that extra $450 now? And he goes, no, I didn't get any extra money. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking, what the fuck is this moron playing at? What is he playing at? Because he knows that he owes me extra money to extend the booking. And that was the whole reason why he left and went to the ATM. Why would he tell me he's back in the lobby if he didn't actually have the fucking money? So I'm really confused, and I'm like, what is going on? I said to him, why did you come back then? Why did I go and get you from the lobby if you don't have any more money to extend? And he says, because I want to finish up the booking. And I said, babe, the 10-minute timer went off. We fart-assed around with the phones. The 10-minute timer means you need to get in the shower and you need to get ready to leave. I'm stumbling over my own words here because I'm getting really heated reliving this and just how he was acting so fucking dumb. There was no time left of his booking. There was no time left of his booking. And even if there was, him leaving to go and get more cash, that actually would have been part of his booking time. For most working girls, they would have included that. In this situation, the time was already up when he went to go and get cash. He hasn't disclosed that to me, and I've gone downstairs and brought him back up. Anyway, what he decides to do, because he's obviously quite annoyed that I'm not continuing and he keeps moaning that he didn't get to finish. Keep in mind that he was going for like 40 minutes straight, so he got a good chunk of time and a good chance to finish. He then puts his hand down on the table and slaps over the top of the $700 that is sitting there. He grabs it, has the whole amount in his hand. Keep in mind, it's a mess because it was kind of spread out. So it's kind of sprayed out of his fingers, and I can see that he has the cash. It's not like it's hiding there and he's, concealed it so I can't see it. The cash is hanging out of his fingers. He's got my fucking cash in his hand and he's looking at me. He's just looking at me, and I went psycho. There is something in me that is very ugly when I am pushed like this. And I had no fucking idea where that thing came from, but it was like a demon came out of me and I went schizo. I was screaming in this guy's face. I was not letting him leave with that money. And I was yelling at him being like, you're a fucking moron. There's cameras all through here. I have your phone number and your legal name. Okay. If you leave with that money right now, it takes a few minutes for a lift to get up to this floor, because I was in one of the very, very top floors of the building. I don't know where the fuck this thing cut me off. I have no idea what I was talking about. But I believe I was at the point where I'm saying to him, you're going to be stuck in the fucking lobby and you're going to be on camera and I'm going to run out and I'm going to do all kinds of fucking things to you while you're standing in that fucking lobby unless you give me my fucking money, okay? And he put the money back on the counter and he turned on his heels and he walked out of my door, and I never heard from him again. And I do not know why he didn't put up more of a fight. Maybe it was just my reasoning of, you're going to be on camera and you're going to be standing there for multiple minutes with my cash in the hallway. Like, how did you think this was going to play out? That you were going to be able to run away with my money? We're on a fucking top floor of a building. What are you going to do? Run down 30 flights of stairs? Go through the fire escape? Like, I'd just catch the lift and I'd wait for you down the fucking bottom. What on earth? Anyway, this has turned into a very long story, but that is the story time of the time that somebody tried to rob me. And obviously he did not succeed. Now, this could have been a lot more dangerous if I worked in a different sort of building. There wasn't lifts, there wasn't fucking cameras, the whole shebang. This could have been really dangerous. And before somebody gets on here and says he tried to rob you because of your money counts, I did not do money counts at this point in time. I had done them about a year prior as a dancer, okay? So for at least 6 months minimum, there had never been a money count on my pages at all. And if I remember right, I'd actually been banned and started a new TikTok, okay? So even those videos of me counting my $500 I made in the Rip Club were gone. Be careful out there, ladies.